Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored Never Boring. A little while back, Avalon Hill teased the front cover of a forthcoming HeroQuest expansion called Rise of the Dreadmoon. It's pretty exciting because it's something entirely new rather than a fresh lick of paint on an expansion from back in the days of yore. Of course, we've had brand new content for this new edition of the classic dungeon crawler before. There were campaigns and heroes during the initial crowdfunding period, and we have had 2 character packs with new heroes since then, but this is the first full expansion comprising new material. There hasn't been a lot of information floating about for this expansion, but back on the 18th of January 2023, Avalon Hill did drop another tasty teaser on their Discord. I didn't report on it at the time as I was waiting for them to reveal something more, but recently I've seen a few people online trying to chase down a copy of the exclusive Guardian Knight character pack, and being as Rise of the Dreadmoon is going to contain what appears to be a carbon copy of that character, in terms of gameplay features at least, I thought it was worth doing a little video to address that and maybe do a little speculating on the future. So yes, the teaser from Avalon Hill confirms a couple of things. First, that the Dreadmoon expansion will be landing in 2023. I think that was a safe bet anyway. I believe we all expected it to follow from Mage of the Mirror. The actual wording on the Discord post is, "The realm may be calling upon the fabled Guardian Knights to take up arms against Zargon and his Dread Legion in 2023. Of course, the most interesting part of this post is the reference to the Guardian Knights and the confirmation of the inclusion of a Guardian Knight in the expansion, along with a picture of the Knight's character card. Here it is. So finally, it looks like those who missed out on the commander of the Guardian Knights will gain access to the Knight class anyway. For anyone who may not know, the commander of the Guardian Knights character expansion was a retailer exclusive. It was made in limited quantities and distributed to retailers who took on stock of HeroQuest during the initial retail run following the crowdfunding campaign. Due to the very limited quantities and the fact retailers often reserve them for sale only to people who were buying other HeroQuest products at the same time, many people missed out on getting a copy of this character pack. It was a serious misstep for Avalon Hill and was met with considerable backlash. When they were forced to comment on the situation, they said that they could not release the character pack again because it wasn't exclusive. They would be breaching terms they had in place with their retailer network. But they did say we might see this character returning in another form in the future. We now know what that form is, a Guardian Knight character wrapped up in the Rise of the Dreadmoon expansion. It would appear that they are getting around the exclusivity angle by creating a different miniature and using different character art. We can see that the new knight has a helm and looks very different to the art from the original character. Those aesthetic changes aside, in terms of stats at least, this new knight is exactly the same. We have attack 2, defend 3, body 7, mind 2, 2 red dice for movement, and starting equipment of short sword and shield. The original commander of the Guardian Knights had the ability to ignore the movement restrictions of plate armor, and also came with 3 skills that could be used once each per dungeon. At the moment, we haven't had confirmation if our new knight will have access to those same skills and abilities, but I would be very surprised if they didn't. To me, this looks like this is just going to be a reskin. And that is something of a double-edged sword for Avalon Hill. There will be people who are delighted to have access to a character they previously missed out on. Conversely, there will be those people who bought something exclusive in good faith and now discover that while it may still be technically exclusive, it's not quite as exclusive as they first thought. This will be a particularly stinging revelation for anyone lured into paying far too much for a scalped copy of the Guardian Knight on the secondary market. Personally, as someone who felt the exclusive character pack was a bad move in the first place, I approve of this move. I do appreciate the other side of the coin, but I much prefer to see everybody having a chance to own gameplay content. Different sculpts don't bother me, as long as it's possible for everybody to field those characters in some form. I suppose this move does also raise the question regarding exclusive content made for the crowdfunding campaign. Will all that other exclusive content end up repackaged and retailed? Technically, only a few of the backer bonuses from the crowdfunding campaign were labelled as exclusive. Some of them were listed as timed exclusives. None of the actual stretch goals were ever called exclusive, although it may have been implied. However, when pressed on this subject in the past, Avalon Hill said on Twitter that crowdfunding content was created for that campaign, so it couldn't be released at retail. Now we have a precedent that says otherwise. A new presentation could be all it takes. They could resculpt the miniatures and bundle them into another campaign down the line. The Druid, Bard and Warlock characters could end up in character packs with male and female variants, and there would be nothing stopping them combining all of the unlocked campaign books into a single adventure book with all new artwork. The question really isn't so much if they could do it, but if there would be enough of a reason. Would the smaller market for such products and the risk of upsetting those people who already have them offset any potential gain? I guess we will have to wait and see. For now, it's nice to know there is a version of the Guardian Knight on the way that everyone will have a chance to own. And with Avalon Hill consistently pushing out new content, it's a great time to be a HeroQuest fan regardless of what they do in the future. Now I'm going to return to twiddling my thumbs and waiting for my copy of Mage of the Mirror to arrive. Thank you, as always, to the Always Bored Never Boring Club members, and thank you everyone for taking some of your valuable time to listen to me today. If you liked the video, please consider pressing the like button. If you really like the video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so, and hopefully I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone, bye bye.